Turning entire nations against yourself isn't an easy task. Yet Johnny Somali has somehow managed to do just that. He was given multiple opportunities to turn things around, but instead, he decided to continue being a complete degenerate who lacks even the most basic human decency. It was only a matter of time before he faced the consequences of his actions. That time is finally here, and his fate is far worse than he could have ever imagined. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today, we're diving into the latest updates in the Johnny Somali saga, the high likelihood of him rotting in foreign prison for years, and how he's actively making the situation worse for himself.
Say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm mentally ill. I don't know what's going on. I have a bipolar disorder.
But as you'll see by the end of this video, all this could just be the beginning of something far more disastrous for Johnny. Now, I've already covered the Johnny Somali situation in great detail, but if you haven't watched that video, here's a super quick recap. Ramsey Khalid Ismail, better known as Johnny Somali, wanted to become a globe-trotting content creator, but when travel vlogging didn't work out for him, he came up with a genius plan to be as insufferable as humanly possible, in the hopes of farming viral clips. He took the mantra "all publicity is good publicity" to heart and found his first target country, Japan. There, he did every obnoxious thing he could think of, from harassing passengers on a train,
Hiroshima? You know Hiroshima? Nagasaki? You know. Why you do this? Pearl Harbor?
to being a complete racist.
Yo, this shit is in Mulan language. What does it say? This shit is in Mulan language. What does it say? I thought that shit was an error. It's Mulan language.
Real NPC activity right now.
It's hella NPCs out here.
This is crazy. These are NPCs, guys. We with the NPCs right now, bro. I'm with the NPCs out here. I'm with the NPCs out here. Really with the NPCs.
Hey, these are all NPCs, bro.
All while streaming everything for the world to see. He also began terrorizing local businesses,
Hawaii. Chinese phone.
an act that would later become one of the reasons for his demise. After weeks of being a complete he eventually got arrested and was forced to leave the country after paying a relatively small fine. He followed this up by going to Israel and sinking to a whole new level of depravity, with things like chasing cupcakes,
I'm too young for you again.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
It's legal here in Israel.
harassing female cops,
You a bad. I swear to God. You a bad. I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God. I'll change your life. I'll change your life, baby. Baby, I'll change your life. I promise you. You a bad.
and even threatening to SA them in public.
I slap that. I grab it too. Donald Trump told me grab it by the. I'll grab that too. Stop playing with me.
However, after the locals started enacting their own justice on him and his cameraman,
Hey, don't touch me, man. Hey. Oh.
he had no choice but to flee the country. But since he walked away practically scot-free in both Japan and Israel, he figured why not push his luck again, this time in South Korea. He kicked off his visit by desecrating a statue dedicated to Korean women who were forced into SA slavery during World War II, harassing an elderly convenience store employee,
I didn't even drink here. Are you dumb? I already
before openly challenging any angry locals to take a swing on him,
Swing on it I was waiting for him to swing on Johnny. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
We're ready.
do it.
Reddit, Twitter,
I
come.
wanted to stop on his
Hank is here tonight. We're not scared.
but what he didn't realize was that the Korean people were more than happy to take him up on his challenge.
어, 때린다. 들어와. Wow.
Leaving him bloody and bruised. Then, just when he thought things couldn't get any worse, he was arrested and charged with multiple counts of obstruction of business and more. The Korean authorities took away his streaming equipment and seized his passport to prevent him from leaving the country. This brings us to the present, and a lot has happened since my last video. When he was arrested back in November of 2024, many people, including myself, speculated that the Korean government was going to make an example out of him. After all, this was their chance to show other douchebag IRL streamers that Korea wasn't a public content farm, where they could do whatever they want and walk away without any consequences. Fortunately for them, Johnny is going out of his way to dig his own grave. As a comment on YouTube from Atozy points out, Johnny started falling down a staircase about 2 years ago, and is somehow still falling down that same staircase currently. You see, he was scheduled to stand trial on March 7th, 2025. You'd think he'd lay low and keep his nose clean while waiting for his day in court. But Johnny couldn't help himself. 10 days before the trial, he went ahead and committed yet another crime by sharing links to a porn site in his Discord. For those who don't know, the creation, promotion, and distribution of explicit material is completely illegal in South Korea. That said, he still had some plausible deniability if this ever came up in court. He could have argued that he shared the link accidentally and that it wasn't meant to be a promotion or distribution of explicit material. But as is tradition with Johnny, he immediately destroyed any chance he had of talking his way out of it. Seconds after posting the link, he sent 2 more messages reading, "Need all my N-words to goon," and "next business venture," essentially admitting that he shared the link on purpose and did so for profit. It's almost like he wants his sentence to be as long as possible, with one person writing, "Johnny Somali's biggest enemy are not his haters, not the authorities, not legal mindset, it's himself. He is the one who keeps making cases against himself and producing/recording his own crimes." However, this wasn't even the worst thing he did leading up to the trial. The night before, he went live and managed to incriminate himself even further by revealing his plan to trick the Korean court system. According to Johnny, all he had to do was plead insanity, and the Korean government would set him free with a small fine.
When I go to the judge tomorrow and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm mentally ill. I don't know what's going on. I have a bipolar disorder. And what may I do? I left my medication in America. I don't know what's happening, Your Honor. Please, please help me. I am a psychopath. I plead mentally insane." And they say, "Okay, go home with a fine of $500.
Obviously, this was never going to work. The only reason Johnny thought he could get away with something this absurd was because he's a complete racist. He genuinely sees Asians as inferior and wants them to get exterminated.
I hate Asians. I think all Asians need to be exterminated.
Even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he knew his insanity plan wouldn't work, the mere fact that he's willing to lie in court will likely influence the outcome of his trial. As a comment on YouTube stated, "Only an idiot like Johnny would stream his plan to try and get off scot-free for the authorities to find." But this was only the beginning. As the stream went on, Johnny continued digging a deeper hole for himself. For instance, at one point during the stream, he proudly claimed that he was going to continue streaming and accepting donations, even though he's completely banned from doing so.
These gonna lock me in the country, I'm gonna make bread. If these lock me in the country, I'm gonna make bread. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Send that to the prosecutor. My live stream donators, they gonna get it rich and oiled because they feel bad that I've been locked here. Snitching, Johnny Somali is making money. Yeah, don't lock me in the country, Korean corrupt ass government.
He also kept drinking to the point of throwing up on stream.
Giving y'all the first viral moment tonight. Oh my God, I threw up everything. Y'all wanna see this?
It's worth noting that he was doing all of this just hours before his trial, and as you might imagine, it didn't end well for him. YouTubers Atozy and Legal Mindset both traveled to South Korea to attend the trial in person. According to them, Johnny came to the trial looking like an absolute buffoon, wearing an oversized suit and a MAGA hat. He also showed up an hour late, most likely because he was drunk from the stream he did just hours before. The only person who came with him was his Korean roommate and friend Hank Yu, a man who's known as the Asian Nazi as he became famous for singing a deeply racist song while wearing a Confederate uniform. Atozy and Legal Mindset also revealed that Johnny was in a rather jolly mood as he entered the courtroom. He even spotted the two YouTubers and started making faces at them like a 10-year-old child.
The judge saw him making faces at us.
Right, yeah, when he walked in.
And then on the bench, he made a face directly at me and Atozy.
In front of everyone.
Right to us, in
Very
front of everybody.
intelligent.
He looked to us and did
Yeah.
Both of us.
However, his smile disappeared the moment the judge started listing his charges. The first charge against him is for obstruction of business. This is from when he started causing a commotion in a convenience store by spilling water all over the table.
Right to say we should have kids. Your father was right here.
Throwing noodles at other customers. Disrespecting a store employee. And being a massive nuisance in general. To make matters worse, the employee he harassed was simply trying to inform him that it's illegal to drink alcohol in convenience stores. In other words, not only did he break the Korean law, he also mistreated the person trying to help him. The second charge is for harassing the public with a rotting fish in his hand. He got on a bus with this fish and kept approaching random people to get a reaction out of them. The final charge against him was for lewd behavior in public. This included his antics on local trains and buses, as well as the vile dance he did in front of the Statue of Peace. Surprisingly, Johnny immediately folded and pleaded guilty to all 3 charges. Altogether, these can send him behind bars for anywhere between 1 and 5 years. Maybe he realized that there was nothing he could do or say to avoid conviction for these charges, so he pleaded guilty to get it over with instead of dragging the case out further. However, what he didn't realize is that he was in for a shocking surprise, because as it turns out, the prosecutors had filed a 4th charge that neither Johnny nor his lawyer were aware of.
The unexpected 4th charge. The judge asks Ramsey if he's received the letter of the 4th charge. Both Ramsey and his lawyer appeared confused.
His lawyer asked for more time to review this new charge. The judge accepted this request and scheduled the next hearing on the 9th of April. As for why they surprised him with a new charge like this, Legal Mindset has a theory that seems quite plausible. According to him, now that Johnny has pleaded guilty, he can be tried as a repeat offender for the new charge, making it easier to give him a punishment. And if that's not bad enough, he might face 2 more charges on top of this. One for creating explicit deepfake videos of several Korean content creators, including streamer Bongbong IRL.
Korean girlfriend, look, you see? Y'all niggas jealous, y'all niggas getting pussy like this.
And another for threatening gang rape to a girl in public. As for Johnny, he's not handling the news well. He initially went into denial, trying to convince himself that he won't get any jail time for what he thinks are extremely minor crimes.
Showed up drunk, I showed up happy. Like, the charges that they have me put on, the charges that they have me for are such minor, minuscule charges. It's obstruction of, like, bro, spilling a cup of noodles, carrying a fish. But they got me for, like, spilling a cup of noodles. They got me for carrying a stinky fish. They got me for some, bro, like, this is, you can't go to jail for that in any country.
However, the weight of the situation is finally sinking in. He'll likely spend years trapped in a Korean prison, and he knows there's nothing he can do to avoid his fate. So now, he's pretending to be some master criminal whose evil knows no bounds. That said, it's all likely a ploy to farm donations from the few people who still tune into his stream.
If y'all give me the support and the donations and the love, the power chats, the crypto donation, I'm ready, bro. If y'all want chaos, let me be your conduit. Let me be your bastion of the evil. If you want to see anarchy, if you're an anarchist and you want somebody that is going to crash out with no remorse, with no sense of self-worth, with no sense of self-preservation.
Maybe some part of him still thinks he'll walk away with just a slap on the wrist, but from everything we've seen so far, it's clear the Korean government has no intention of letting that happen.